What up? What up? What up? Ibn Web, Quran the Sun. Think I'm gonna do the Quran thing here today. Got official things going down here. I just one of the things I always remember in my adult life, just you make your transitions, try to better yourself, your family, your situation, and just do things that probably haven't been done or seldomly been done within your family network growing up here. And one of them is just owning property and doing different things here. Years ago, I had a chance to meet a gentleman who actually was able to line me up in regards to properties and doing a bunch of other things here, with my life here. And I'm just so appreciative of him. I don't think he knows that, but I'm going to let him know that as soon as he jumps on this call. Christian Harrison, like I said, he's works for a mortgage company. Like I said, he's behind the scenes of a lot of things here, things I've been fortunate enough to do and give a try and take those risks and jump out the window and, land on my feet. Fell a few times, but that's part of the game. You get back up. So just going to get him on and we're just going to talk shop a little bit and go from there. Hold tight.
You kept with me. You have patience with me, so I appreciate it.
Oh,
you haven't aged a day, though, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. You look like you haven't even aged.
Yeah, just besides more grays.
Yeah, I got those too.
I know. Look at you here, and obviously it's them little girls we have, man.
That's that. Every single one is a fight or a time she yelled at me or did something that she teenager. Gave me a gray hair.
Absolutely. Notice how I didn't say the wives though, but we'll leave that alone.
No, in case they're watching.
Definitely not, Chris. I appreciate it. And like I was joking with you before, one day I'm gonna do some outtakes. Everybody trying to get on here. It's been comical.
Oh, good. Yeah. I bet. I give you some material for that.
Definitely. But I appreciate you taking a few minutes, man. I know life is busy right about now for everybody here now, and I know just even talking to you about just jumping on here, like I said, just something I did on the fly earlier this year, probably January or something. It's like, you know what? Let me just do something completely left of my personality and all this. And like I said, I tell everybody, I don't even like to talk this much. Colleen looks at me like she says to say, you don't even like to talk. So but it's been cool and it's been a joy. And I think things that you just give a shot, you just never know when you find some joy. So it's been a joy to do all this. And so to catch you, I'm very fortunate here.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. I've never been asked on a podcast before, so I feel privileged. So thank you.
Nah, cool, man. Just me just being a little nosy, man. You can tell me shut up whenever, but I get a little nosy. Like, where are you from? Where life started for you at?
Oh man, so born in Meriden. I grew up in a small cow town called Durham. You get probably heard of the Durham Fair.
Yes,
I guess not to talk about with anybody because that's all that Durham really has. But yeah, then went to Central, got my degree, ran the track team there, made a lot of friends, and now I'm here in I got an office here in Avon, live in Simsbury, and yeah, I've never left Connecticut, so I'm a homer.
So you grew up in Durham, huh?
I grew up in Durham, yeah. So I moved there about when I was like 4 years old, and so went there and grew up there, yeah. Graduating, I think 90 people or something like that.
90, yeah, I'm familiar with over there. I leave the whole. I won't actually share no experience about cow tipping or anything, so I'll leave that alone.
No cow tipping. I was too scared.
Okay, cool. And also, regular childhood, anything? I mean, out of the ordinary. I mean, just regular sports, activities, family, just for yourself growing up.
Yeah, I mean, nothing exciting. I ran cross country track in high school. I guess maybe a good story about me is I used to be the freshman year. I was the smallest kid and ended up running my first race and getting dead last place. Because it was like 360 people and everyone had to wait for me, parents and all that to get in their cars until I finished. But then I ended up, getting my senior year, growing up a little bit. I ended up winning the state championship in the mile and got a little help going to college, and now the only running I do is to the fridge, and then maybe to the couch, but that's it. Or no, chasing my dog, I do that too.
I'm about to say that's the cardio in itself right there.
Gosh, she can outrun me so easily now. I mean, I heard a hammy, a back, anything when I try to chase her. So she does gymnastics, she's flipping around. I'm trying to chase her and doesn't work out too well, but.
Nah, interesting. So look at that. I mean, you say dead last freshman year, you end up winning the state senior. that says it all about you, man. Just kind of to stay with it in this here in regards to just like, you know what, you didn't let that deter you, quit and never, try running again here. So that's cool, man. That's cool. That's real cool. Now, even with even with college, what did you go to college for? I mean, again, I know you ended up in the housing business, but what did you go to college for?
Yeah, actually, I went to college for graphic design. Well, I didn't know for the first couple of years. Then, like my senior year, I decided, I'll do graphic design. I ended up actually getting a degree in that, a little minor in marketing, and I went to work at a pharmaceutical company and do like multimedia stuff for Pfizer and stuff like that. Really, not, it doesn't. It sounds a lot better than it was. That wasn't exciting at all. And then whatever. If you ever watched the movie Office Space, it's that's pretty much was my job. It was just looking at the clock all day, that kind of thing. Very corporate. So I
Mhm.
did that for like 3.5 years, and then got someone unfortunately under me got laid off and ended up going to the mortgage business and told me to come out and talk to him and ended up taking a chance. And here I am, 18 years later.
So with that chance, so when you got into the mortgage business, what did you start off doing?
And well, embarrassingly enough, you probably heard of the company AmeriQuest Mortgage. I started off there.
Okay.
And, they were kind of like the subprime lender, and they were kind of like I don't know, I don't want to use the word sleazy, but they were not the best company. I ended up leaving after a year, and they ended up closing down pretty soon after that.
Mhm.
Just because they were doing some things, and I started to realize, and I left. But subprime stuff, it was not good interest rates, prepayment penalties, stuff like that. But I did learn that was not the right way to, that the best mortgages to get. So when I got the first world mortgage where I'm at right now, it was great to be able to actually help clients and give them awesome rates and low costs and all that stuff. But yeah, that was where I started. I mean, let's put it this way: my training to for this job at AmeriQuest was watching a scene from Boiler Room and from Glenn Ross. It's just like
Right.
all sales, telemarketing,
Mhm.
cold calling people, getting hung up on. I mean, that was my job. So it actually, I would say, it was the worst job I ever had. And it's kind of I always look back, I'm like, God, thank God I stuck with this thing, because that was not a good representation of what the mortgage business really is. But stuck with it, found the light, and here I am.
What was it that kept you doing this? Because you could easily, with that experience, be like, man, the hell with this and do something else.
Yeah, yeah. You mean you're referring to the first job at
I kn-
AmeriQuest?
no, as far as and then obviously you ended up at First World,
Oh
but
yeah,
what
yeah.
what kept you just doing this?
Yeah. I mean, it was just I love talking to people. I love helping them. I love math. I love grinding and trying to figure out a way to get things done. And this job offers me the opportunity to do that, especially here. I mean, it's like, if it can be done, I can do it. And I always working with you, I try to figure out ways on unturn every stone that I possibly can. And we just have
Mhm.
every program in the world to do so. So it motivates me to not give up on people and try to help them find a way to get in their house or refinance, wherever the case may be.
Yeah, nah, interesting. And then along the way here, you end up, getting married. Now your wife's in the housing business too, or was she? I know she was doing something
Oh
along those
yeah.
lines, right?
Um, yeah, she actually got into real estate. Like kind of we went out. I'll never forget. We went out for a drink at TGI Fridays, and I said, you know what? You should get into real estate. We could take over the world. Me, mortgages, you, real estate. What can
Mhm.
go wrong? And it lasted for a little while. Then I started to realize that, like, wow, my office has become at home now. And like,
Right,
I
right, right.
talk business all night, and that kind of motivated her to get out. And also too, like I started to realize a lot of my realtors I work with were like, oh man, Christian's just going to give all his business to his wife, and what the heck are we giving him business for? He's not going to give us anything, which is not true, but it was an easy assumption to make. I mean,
Right.
yeah, of course you're going to assume that. I'm working with my family. They think everything, I want to keep the money in the house or the commission in the house. No, that wasn't the way it was, but that was the perception. And, she decided to get out of it. Now she does a completely different job, still in sales. She does network marketing. She does a lot of in-home parties for women, that kind of thing. So, we're basically, a lot of people think we're crazy because we're a commission only house. Like, if we don't do good by people, then we're not eating food and paying the bills. So
Yeah.
it's an exciting life sometimes, and yeah, we made it work. So it's good.
Nah, exactly. And I mean, and to your point, you mentioned the whole grind with everything here. So you know what it takes to obviously, get that sale to come through or whatever the case may be. And obviously is your mate next to you, she knows how to do the same thing. So I'm sure obviously it's pros and cons to everything here. So I'm sure that, again, it's still a joy, obviously, despite any rough patch, if any, so I'm sure there's still a joy with all that. Now, you guys became parents. How's it been being a father, man?
Oh man, it changed everything, changed my life. It's having a little girl is crazy.
Mhm.
But we actually adopted her when she was 1 second old. And best thing ever. I'll say something about to get a little personal, if that's okay. We were having trouble having a kid, obviously, and went through the adoption thing, and actually that didn't go too well for years, and it was just like the way it happened with Olivia was amazing. It got to
Mhm.
the point where I was always telling my friends and my family, nah, it didn't work out. We didn't get that adoption to work, or if there was miscarriage here, and it was
Mhm.
always bad news. So what I decided to do this time is I didn't tell anybody. So I didn't tell my mom, my sister. They're calling me like, "Hey, Christian, where are you at?" It's around the holidays, and I'm in the hospital. And I feel like I'm having an affair or something. Like I'm lying to
Yeah,
my
yeah,
family. Not
yeah.
telling, but it's all for a good reason. So
Mhm.
after all the heartache and everything we went through, this actually ended up being a fairy tale ending. We ended up taking Livy home, Olivia, on Christmas Eve. Showed up to my family's house on Christmas and showed up with Olivia, and we have it on
Mm.
video too. And everyone just cries, and end up being like like a nice lifetime movie ending, so to speak. But
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, to answer your question, it's the best thing in the world. I always wake up so thankful, and I have a different perspective on life now. That's for sure. Before it was always hustle, hustle, hustle. Now it's like, how could I work hard to be able to be at the bus stop with my
Right.
waiting for my girl, or being at a gymnastics thing, or watching her do martial arts. It's like changes everything, man. My whole world is hers. That's
Mhm.
it's the way it is. You know how it is.
Yeah, nah, definitely, definitely. That
Yeah.
whole adoption process, man, just just how was it? I mean, I know it was grueling, and probably some disappointments along the way here, paperwork and people prying into your world here, like, you know, just
Yeah.
how was it?
Yeah.
How was it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a learning experience. Let's put it that way. I mean,
Mhm.
I got into it. I'm like, okay, let's adopt a baby. It's like in my mind, let's go get them. Let's get a baby and that's it. But
Mhm.
it's not like that. There's a
Yes.
lot of unfortunately, there's a lot of misleading out there, a lot of fraud where it's like
Yes.
they take advantage of your emotions. We want it so bad that we got, strung along, misled, a lot of times it's like all about, getting money. And it was a tough pill to swallow for a while. And we learned, I mean, we always say we should write a book about this stuff, but at the same time, I never want to demotivate anyone from adoption, because it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me.
Mhm.
Where at some points it seemed like the worst, but that is never going to happen. And I hope anyone who's going through the process has the happy ending I had, and doesn't have the bad stuff. So anyone needs a referral, I have a great adoption agency to go through that does not
Okay.
do that. Only good stuff. So yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. I'll put it that way, but happy ending, which is all that matters.
Nah, nah, definitely. And to your point here, I mean, I didn't even know about the whole, Christmas Eve and Christmas. I mean, people probably can't even enjoy opening their gifts because y'all came with probably the best gift ever. You know?
Yeah, it's hard to live up to that now. It's hard to do presents now. That was
Yeah.
up to that one. I don't know if they expect me to walk in again with another one, but mom, if you're listening, that's not gonna happen. Okay.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. I know I always joke with myself here because the whole pressure about having another kid. I'm just like, nah. And I'll be honest, I'm totally cool. I mean, initially I wanted a boy. Initially, I mean, just on some guy stuff, you want a boy, but I'm so
Of
happy
course.
I have a girl, and makes me do other things that I never thought I'd do. And I say this a lot. Like I'm on the floor Friday nights playing with Barbies,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
holding her. You mentioned gymnastics. I'm her gymnastics coach at the house. I'm like, look, I don't know, but so much here, but because if you get messed up, I'm out the house, everything here. So like,
Yeah, yeah, I'm a jungle gym. That's all I am to this girl. She just
mhm.
jumps and hangs on me. There's a picture of me. My football team won this weekend, and then
Okay.
my wife put a picture of me galloping. She made me gallop like a horse with her on my back, and I'm still a little sore from that, but that's all right. It's worth it.
Yeah, no, no, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you trying to steal on her? And oh, side note, Olivia, that was actually one of the names we were going to name Nyla too. So
Oh, really? Yeah,
yeah, we was actually going to name her Olivia.
it's a popular name. She's like they have to have like nicknames at her gymnastics class. I think she's O. I don't know what her name is. Power O, and they have other people like O2, O1. It's like
Okay.
four Olympic gymnastics class. It's funny because my wife was trying to stay with, like, she goes, I want something unique, like something that no one had. I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden she was born, I'm like, she's Olivia. There's no question. And so we got like it was like the number 2 ranked most popular name, I think, at the time. We know it. So it was the opposite of what my wife wanted. She wants something unique, but she's, sometimes you just don't know until you see the little baby in your arms. You're like, yeah, she's Olivia. That's it.
Yeah, you know how that goes, like the new car
Yeah.
thing. Nobody has this car, and when you get it, now you see it everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It's
the new car thing. Yeah, nah,
Can't get out.
definitely.
Yeah.
What's been some of the as a father, like, I mean, what's been some of your highs and lows? I mean, just in general.
Oh man. So yeah, I mean, highs, like, well, just last night watching her in martial arts, she got her yellow stripe belt, broke a board, just that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Watching her like just grow up, just watching her smile, man. It's just the holidays and Halloween and just all that, every moment's is a high point. Low points is when, God, I mean, what comes with like a girl who likes gymnastics, she's not scared of anything. So like when she was, man, I think she had to be like 1 or 2 years old. She's flipping off the couch, and we have this coffee table that, God, it's not like it's so low, but there's like these sharp corners. We had the protectors thing on there, but we took off like idiots in retrospect. And she, nailed her head on the thing. Had to take her, just missed her eye to take her in, get her stitches. I mean, God is like, I mean, I'm crying in the car, like,
yeah, no, I would be too.
Blood here, blood there. Daddy, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing, just, I'm just worried about you. It's like that stuff, man. Every single day, just walking down the road with her when she was a baby, watching cars zip by. It's like I'm terrified every second of my life now. I've never been so scared in my life. Just being a parent gets you that way, man. But that's about it. I'm sure everything I'm saying, I'm sure you can relate with.
No, definitely. And I try to my demeanor. I try to be firm but fair. As much as I try to say that, then I turn into a little punk. As much as I try to hold my ground with that, then I turn into a little punk.
Yeah. I know. Like, listen, when Libby wants something, she knows the easy mark, and that's me. I'll try to be tough too, but she knows I can get broken down pretty easily with my little girl. That's for sure.
Yeah, and it's just amazing at these ages too, how they know how to play off of parents. They know how to play off.
God, yeah. The manipulating is unbelievable. It's at a high level. I don't think I'm like, was I this smart as a kid? I mean, she could pit us against each other. She just, mommy said I could do this. Really, Liv? She said that? You sure?
Yes.
Come on.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I know even with a child and being married here again, I think probably, I don't know about you, has it strengthened your marriage as far as just, having a child here?
Listen, it makes it I'd say it definitely, bottom line, strengthens it. Does it make it easier? Heck no. I mean, a marriage, when I always laugh at the people that are like, listen, my relationship's a little rough, I'm gonna have a kid, make it better. Okay, good luck with that, because now you have something else to disagree about. So both you guys, we always try to be on the same page with parenting. Sometimes we are, sometimes we're not. We always try to keep a unified front. That's key with because if she, if these little ones, they sense any weakness in the chink in the armor, they're going to take advantage of it. So, but absolutely, it has to make you stronger, because it's another thing that you guys, not just about. I always tell people, like, maybe less than 50% of marriage is the lovey-dovey, unicorns and rainbows, happy stuff. Then you gotta agree on the finances. You gotta agree on one person's messy, one's not. Then you put a kid in there, and it's like, okay, now you have another thing. So, you have to be, if you're going to be a parent, you got a kid, that relationship's got to be strong. You have no choice.
No, you're right.
Same thing.
No, same thing. But I think what I've learned, as far as the whole marriage piece and having a kid here, like, I learned to step back. I think if anything,
happy wife, happy.
Yeah, I hear that quote, but still, happy spouse, happy house too. We gotta be happy too, man. What I mean? We gotta be happy too. So again, I get that. Yeah. So I try to make that point. Like, we still gotta, as husbands and fathers.
I'm gonna dial my wife in right now, so you can tell her that. Hold on. Daddy!
Yeah. But all in all, again, obviously, I put, obviously my wife in front of everything, but still in all, we got to find that space where we, have some peace, some fun, everything for us as well, too. But like I said, I've learned to step back on some things here, because I know I could be like, not a helicopter parent necessarily, or, but I still want to see things done a certain way, but I've learned to step back, because, she's got this. And like I said, I was, fortunate, obviously. I have a stepson, so it's a huge gap. Stepson's 24, so it's a huge gap. Colleen was nice to start over. She was nice to start over, with Nyla here. So I know she has some experience in that arena. So I got to be mindful of that. Like, Karan stepped the hell back and,
Yeah.
she got this.
I think I probably the same experience, and plus my wife is a lot smarter than me, so it's probably good for her to take
totally agree. I totally agree with that. I'd always tell Kyla I was told to marry somebody smarter than me, and I definitely did that. I definitely married somebody smarter than me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now,
Good
I
thing.
know even how does the little one feel as far as in regards? Does she know what you do for a living? Kind of got an idea, or she just knows you play with houses or something?
That's about what it is. I mean, listen, I tell her that, Olivia, I have the great job in the world. I give people money, and the best part is I don't have to pay it back. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, just give people money for houses, but we have to make sure certain things do go a certain way. That's when she drifts off when I start explaining it. So she just knows I help people. She tells people I help people get houses. So that's good enough for me. It sounds actually a lot better. I should probably use that. Put that on my business card. Have my market.
Nah, definitely. And I know with the mortgage company and everything that you're doing, I mean, any of that stuff that you use personally that kind of just sticks with you right now, as far as whether it's motivation or just kind of just the, just the ins and outs of the job here that sticks with you?
Yeah, like again, it's just I'm lucky enough to build a business to the point where the phone rings and people trust me, and I've taken care of them over the years, and it's like when I first started, it was like trying to get the business and try to dig and try to get everyone to trust you. It's tough. I mean, I manage people, I hire people, and it's really the toughest thing is to get started. I mean, it's such a hard business to get started, especially since you're not getting paid unless you do a mortgage, you close on a house and that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, now it's like it's a pleasure coming to work. It's definitely it's less stress, and we're working from home a little bit because of COVID, but yeah, and I still it's a great job. I feel so blessed that I found it and I was able to actually succeed in something and do something that I love. So yeah, I mean, every day still I'm still thinking. I wake up with a couple things. Hey, happy I still have a job. I look, my wife's still next to me, and that's
Right.
sometimes
That's
a
right.
miracle. And my daughter's still happy and it doesn't hate me yet, so it's good. I know that's gonna come.
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does your daughter, how old's your daughter?
Nyla's 7. She's 7.
7. Mine's turning 7 in December. So has she watched like any of those like those shows or movies, Descendants or like Zombies? Like they're like
Yeah,
the
she had her descendant phase. She had a descendant phase. I'm not singing those songs, but she had the descendant
I'm not,
phase. That
I know
yeah,
them all by heart. I know you do too.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I swear, when you start watching those shows, like teenagers, almost like a little attitude, and ever since she's watched those movies, it's like there's a little. She'll be dancing, and one of her moves is she'll do a dance and be like that, and I'll be like, whoa, Liv, did you just threaten me? What is that dance? Where did you get that from? I started watching it. Oh, geez, these teenage shows, and so she started
Yeah.
a lot more. So her dance moves and her singing is becoming a lot more edge to it since she's been watching these shows. So I'm trying to make her chill on that because I want her to. I'm not rushing to the teenage years. Let's put it that way.
Completely. I'm with you here. I know in the car today, actually taking her to school, she asked me to play some song. She started playing it. I'm saying to myself, like, what the hell is this? But she just singing it. She tells me, mommy knows it. So I guess being that mommy knows it, I better get on board and learn it.
Her,
Yeah. So her thing now with shows, it's like, what was it? Babysitters Club or something is one of those
she's
TV shows.
watched that too. Yes, she's watched
Yeah,
that.
that's like her thing now. And I think it's something a cheerleading one that she watches as well because she did cheerleading for the first time this year and loves it. Like she
Oh,
loves it
awesome.
more than gymnastics. Like I said, she
Yeah.
loves it, but she wants because I asked what she liked better. She actually said at this time it's cheerleading. She was because again she could dance. You got little dance routines with the
Yeah,
cheerleading stuff.
I love that.
And
Yeah,
I'm
we have
not
a
sure. Go
she
ahead.
owns Alexa at my house, so it's like every
Mhm,
single night there's a dance party going on, and usually I have to get involved, or
mhm.
at least I'm like. But sometimes she says, "Nope, Daddy, not sit down. You're
Yes,
embarrassed," and that she's
absolutely.
right.
Nah,
She's the one
nah,
who moves in the family, not me.
nah, absolutely. And I don't know if Olivia, did they start doing gymnastics tournaments and all that stuff yet?
Yeah, so she's on like the pre-team. So yeah, she's doing like she's training for competition. She hasn't done one yet,
Okay.
so
Okay.
I'm not actually sure when that is, but she's in the like the 2-hour classes,
Yes.
doing the advanced team, doing all that. So yeah, she's crazy. I mean, this morning she did like a one-handed cartwheel. Maybe want to. I threw up trying to think about doing it. She has these back handsprings where
I
she's
know exactly what you're
flexing
talking about.
back,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's crazy. It's great that she's involved in cheerleading though. Your little one. It's
Yeah.
like I just wanted to be involved in something. Like
Right.
I remember just being involved in sports, and it just one thing it did is kept me out of trouble. I mean, no matter how
That's
good
right.
I was,
That's right.
bad I was, it kept me like caring about something where like I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna go to that party. My teammates are depending on me.
Mhm.
I'm stay in tonight. So I'm like, I just feel like not only does it create relationships, you'll have, these girls will have, hopefully they'll stick with their friends
Right.
that they're all this stuff with, and hopefully it sticks to high school, maybe beyond that. And then, they're and they stay out of trouble, for God's sakes. That's please stay out of trouble, Liv. God,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. They're gonna get themselves into trouble, just like we did.
Of course, of course. But to your point, even with the relations to sports, I mean, just the life skills that they're gonna pick up, that they're starting to pick up even now. Like they don't realize it now, till like we probably did later on. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, those life skills that come up, just taking instructions and listen to different people besides obviously your parents, and different
Yeah.
things. Know to get up when you fall. All that other stuff. Yeah.
Being coachable, working hard,
Hmm.
grinding, being good, competitive. Because let's be honest, life is competitive. So,
That's right.
gotta learn how to win. You gotta learn how to lose. I mean, that's
Hmm.
something that's probably the hardest thing for a kid. I mean, we'll be playing like Sorry or somewhat a board game, and she loses. Oh, she'll go to the corner and she is
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
all right, that's exactly what I did when I was a kid. So I got to
Right.
figure out how to pick that one up. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
challenge.
no, definitely. I mean, I always say sometimes you gotta lose to win, and I think and the way till you get to those competitions, I know Nyla she had with the cheerleading, they had these competitions back, I think it was in October or something like that. But I
Cool.
was like, man, I'm here all day. But you know what, Christian,
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world.
No.
I'll sit there all day just for her little 3 to 4 minute routine. I'll do it every day of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
gonna. I bet she looks up at you, and she's gonna remember that you were watching her. So
Yeah, yeah. I just we know as fathers how important it is to to be there. Again, I
yeah,
know fathers take a little heat, but as far as for us to physically be there, and it's not what you buy them and everything else, is that time you put in. And to your point, you sitting there dancing and she shutting you down on some routines, but she know you still there. You're not storming out the room bad and don't talk to me no more, Olivia. And so they
yeah.
they they, they
No
remember.
way.
It'll click later on, like okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
maybe they're 30, but yeah, listen, you and me I can tell we're both softies. We're gonna have some trouble when college time comes. you,
I
I'll
know.
give you a call, man. I'll be like, hey, you want to go out and get a drink and sulk a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not looking, like I said. Let's take these days as slow as they can go, because, like I
Oh,
said,
please. Yeah, it's going too fast already.
but we're going to be good in a sense, because I think they'll probably bump heads more with the mothers. It probably come to us. So I
Already
look at
happened.
it that way as well too. That I can see her bumping heads with her mom, my little one. I can see, so I can totally see that. So I'm just riding this out, and then, like I said, I'll be right there when they do. When they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nah, and I know just even with, like I said, I appreciate even the few minutes. Can I fire off some questions to you, some random ones, and whatever the case may be here?
No, man. I just how long you been doing this podcast for? I've seen you on Facebook a few times. So
Yeah, since like I said, I started around January, just to kind of, I said, let me just see what happens and go, and just while there's people that I know or don't know of, like I said, so it's been January, since about January.
yeah, this is great. I mean, you made me feel comfortable. I feel like I talk probably too much. James gonna be like,
No,
you
we
said,
good, we good.
what'd you say about adoption? Like, what'd you say about me? But no,
Uh,
that's okay.
nah,
And
you
actually,
good, man.
funny, you talk about getting out of your comfort zone. I same way. I like this is like something that not necessarily you normally do, but I actually am doing a podcast now. It's just me and my friend. We used to go for runs in the morning and like we talk sports all the time. We're like, what we
Yes.
just did? No, this is kind of a podcast. Why can't we just get on a podcast and do it? So now, like, we have the X and W podcast where we get on. I'm actually doing one tomorrow night where we just talk sports,
Good
football,
stuff.
a little bit, mostly NFL and whatever.
Let me know how to get on and listen. Like I said,
Yeah,
yeah, this
love,
is
love
good
to have you
stuff.
on. Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
not definitely.
Are you a Giants fan, right? I think.
I'm a Jersey guy, so the Giants. I used to like the
Yeah.
Raiders big time, but it's always
Okay.
fell back to the Giants. It always felt, just being a Jersey guy growing up 25 minutes from Middleland. So yeah, it's always probably been the Giants for the most part.
We'll have you on if you want to tolerate me for another one of these things.
Nah, nah, cool. So I just put you on the spot a little bit here, if that's okay
Sure,
with you.
of course.
Totally random. Some things are totally random here. So, obviously, do you prefer 84 or 91?
I would say, oh, that's a good one. 90. I'd probably say 84, only because I'm on it. I know how to avoid it, but I'm on it more. I go more to Hartford than I do anything else. My family's down towards Guilford, New Haven, Madison area. So um you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with 84.
Durham or Simsbury?
Simsbury. I like there's just so much more to do there, man. There's nothing to do in Durham. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't go out for a gallon of milk. You have to go out and get everything done at the same time because it's going to take 2 hours and then you're good for the month. But Simsbury, whereas everything's right there. Believe it or not, people think Simsbury is like like way detached, but it really is. Right. I'm where I am. You're right near Avon, 44, right near West Hartford. So I love it.
Nah, I think it depends what part of Simsbury you in. As
Yeah,
far
exactly.
as that goes to, yeah, it depends where you're at. Because, like I said, we definitely love that area, but I know some parts is like it's gonna take a second to get to somewhere. So it all I
Yeah,
think
like
depends
the
where you're at.
Granby side's like it's a little country out there, but this is I'm right near Avon 44, so it's like my office right here on 44. I'm like 4 minutes away. So
Yeah. Now I know you're a sports guy, so what name you prefer here? Washington Redskins or Washington football team?
Washington Redskins. This could be another podcast, but it's only because of nostalgia, probably. Football team, I feel like I sound like I have problems when I'm going like go football, go football. They're like, what's this guy talking about over there? Who's he going for? Like it just
Mhm.
it seems weird. But hopefully they'll come up with a name next year, and hopefully I like it, but I'll probably hate it.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see what Mr. Snyder comes up with.
Yeah.
See what he do. Now, fixed mortgage rates or the adjustable rate mortgage? Which one's
Uh,
better?
that's easy. Fixed rates. I mean, geez, now I don't think I've given an adjustable rate out in years, only because it's not even that much better than a fixed rate. Fixed rates are
Mhm,
so low. It's like, why even take the risk and go adjustable now? So yeah,
mhm.
even if it was lower, fixed rate all day, because you know what? You don't know what's going to happen. You might say, oh, I'm moving out in 5 years. So I'll do a 7 year arm or a 5 year arm, but you don't know what's going to happen. Life changes, as you know.
Yes.
You stay 40 years. I mean, or you might leave in 1 year. No one knows what life holds for them as much as they're planning. So fixed rate all day.
Conventional or government backed loan?
If you can, I like conventional only because, if you get to the point where you have 20% equity in the house, or if you have 20% down, you're not paying PMI, which in my
Mhm.
mind is money. Government loans, typically you're paying PMI for at least a little while. And a little while could be like 11 years. So,
Yes.
uh, government products are great, low down payment, low rates. But if you have a down payment or you good credit and you can afford it, conventional is always my goal.
Now, is it better to get mortgage points or not?
Depends. Listen, with me, I typically do 0 point loans only because you can pay points to get a lower rate. And we look at it and it depends on what the pricing is that day. Sometimes paying a point can get you, an eighth or a quarter point lower in a rate, and it's not that much worth it. Or maybe it gets you half a point. Okay, now we're talking. Depending how long you're going to stay there,
Mhm.
that money, as long as you're, with the money you're saving from that point, if you make that money back, it could be a good idea. But the reason why people play 0 points with me a lot is because what I offer everybody is if let's say the rates drop another point or a half a point or 3/4 of a point after we do this thing, and they're like, oh man, we missed it. Well, with me, of course, you could refinance with me and with anybody. But with me, what I do is I weigh my closing costs and just give you the lower rate. So, a lot of people think, well, I could pay for the rate now, or maybe I'll get it for free later with Christian. Do we know what rates are going to do? Of course not.
Right.
I'd be on TV doing my own podcast telling you
That's
all this
right.
stuff they're going to do, but it just lowers risk for people, and it gives them more motivation to pay the lowest possible closing costs, initially, because maybe again with Christian, he's going to take care of me, he's going to give it to me, for free later. So a lot of
Mhm.
people pay. I rarely have people pay points, but sometimes it makes sense when we do it.
Yeah.
I don't know
Now,
if that's it.
no, no, no. It completely answers the question here. Now, I'm gonna get back to a housing question, but I have one here. As far as when you shut it down, as far as just to get away from all this stuff, what's your spot? You go somewhere to bite, get a bite to eat or drink. You have a go to spot when you just want to get away from it
Geez,
for a little bit.
I go out to eat a lot, which is not great for financially or physically, but it's yeah. I mean, there's a place down in Simsbury called Millwrights. just the best restaurant. The chef is Tyler Anderson. He went up against Bobby Flay and like this whatever his show
Oh,
was.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
In the finals, and the food is so good, man. It's I haven't got to that spot in a while, but we go out to West Hartford Center a lot too. So yeah, I guess I like to eat food.
Now I gotta keep that in mind. Make a mental note of that spot. I haven't been there, so
yeah, check it out, man. Definitely. Well, maybe that'll be our spot to go to cry when our kids graduate high school.
Sound like a play. Sound like a play.
Yeah.
The housing. Well, most expensive deal you've been a part
of. Most expensive deal I've been a part of. Well, I mean, my market's usually not. I do a lot of first time home buyers, so I don't do too many big deals. I'm working on a $1.7 million deal right now in down near the beach. I mean, probably a few million. Nothing that's going to break any records. But I do stuff like that once in a while. But typically, again, first time home buyer. I mean, my probably average loan size is probably 250. I'll probably do between like 100 and for like 500 is usually that's my gig. But but I do other ones too. I do everything. So, but just the team tends to be the people that gravitate towards me in my market and people that I work with. A lot of the first time home buyers.
Now, in a lot of people's lines of work here, it's always good to have personal experience around it here. I say that to say, like, as far as outside of where you're living at, you have other properties or homeowner elsewhere as well too, because again you can relate to what people are going through with these deals.
Absolutely, yeah. So I do. I have well, I used to do it what you did. I had some multifamily investment properties. I got in with a partner, didn't work out, and that's why they say never go to business with friends. Didn't really work out too well, so I got out of that and actually did. That stuff was I wasn't. I got into something completely different investment, but we do some Airbnb VRBO stuff now. So I have a place in Newport, Rhode Island that's doing really well. Actually, you ever seen the movie? Maybe your daughter's seen the movie Hocus Pocus. They're making a Hocus Pocus 2. I probably shouldn't be saying this publicly, but we had they're gone now, so it's okay. We had Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, all the actresses staying there to film the second Hocus Pocus movie. So that was pretty cool. I just got a place down in Florida, condo. So we're doing the same thing down there. So my whole thing now is like get a little older. I got a daughter now, so I might as well make my investments fun. So place for us to go and in vacation and hang out and also make it do the weekly rental so we could pay for the mortgage.
Interesting, even with the Airbnbs, how obviously they don't take it off here. I know somebody that does them, and actually some of the homes they're like theme based. It's funny you mentioned the Hocus Pocus. Some people have Airbnbs like Barbie themes. I mean, it's you can just kind of do all kind of themes. Yeah, I done been seeing and hearing about.
Yeah.
Now, also, what's the most unconventional deal you've been a part of?
Oh man, now you are putting me on the spot. I gotta think here. Unconventional deal. Whew, you got me. I think I have to think about that one.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of there's some weird properties we have with what property is a barn and 3 single family houses on it, and there's stuff like that. So I'm starting to do commercial mortgages now, which I haven't done in the past, and so I'm pretty sure I'll run on some pretty unconventional deals there. Some land deals. God, I can't.
Nothing sticks out. Anything sticks out?
No, maybe some unconventional mortgages, do back in the we have stated income loans where you could just look at bank statements, you don't look at income, anything like that. There's stuff like that, but I can't think of anything really crazy. If I think of something, I'm going to text you and you could say it on your next podcast.
Cool. What's any new trends in the housing game? Like any new trend, anything, right? Even with the whole COVID and everything else we up against right now. Any new trends?
Yeah, well, I mean, the trend with COVID is everything started to get really tight. So it started to get tough because the banks were scared that everyone was going to lose their jobs and foreclose because of COVID, and so they just weren't lending, and they were requiring unbelievably crazy. I mean, for someone that's self-employed, you had to get 12 months of reserves. You had to do profit and loss statements. Now they're starting to loosen up on the requirements, which is nice. I think the housing market is starting to settle down a little bit, but it's still pretty hot. There's a lot of things still going on. But a lot of programs are coming back. Like I said, now we can do some no income deals. We can do some pretty cool stuff with multifamilies. A lot of things are getting a lot better and better in terms of requirements. So things are loosening up, which means, of course, more money could be lent, more mortgage could be done, a lot more people can qualify. We can go a lot credit score now. So the trends are good. I love it because it's just, rates went up a little bit, but they're still really, really low. So it's still, there's still a lot of refis, and it's just with everything loosening up, it's a lot more opportunity to get a mortgage.
Nah, that's good to hear. That's definitely good to hear here. Best part about being Christian Harrison.
Well, we talked about it probably 75% of the podcast. My little girl, my family, man. It's I wake up every day and I feel like the luckiest man in the world.
Yeah. Three, I know you probably have had more, but can you name three of the best moments in your life at this point?
Well, I was just at a game a couple weeks ago when Washington beat Tom Brady. That was one of them. No, that's not one. I felt like it at the time because, like, oh my God, I didn't think we were gonna win that one.
Yeah.
But geez, happiest moments of my life. Well, of course, Libby being born. I had to say like the by the book ones. My marriage. Man, God, one of my life. Probably the 91 Super Bowl. And the Redskins won their last Super Bowl. I don't know. Those are probably
that's Buffalo, right? Is that the one against Buffalo?
Against Buffalo, yeah. That was like the best season. We were like almost undefeated that year. And I was old enough to appreciate it. I think I was like 11 years old or something. That's sad, man. God, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. That was some time ago. I mean, obviously Giants is a little before then anyway. So you're in good shape.
Yeah. No, Giants. They beat Tom Brady.
Oh my
twice.
Wow. I'm dating myself. I can't. I'm thinking in my Parcell days. I apologize.
Yeah, you're the only one that could talk crap to those Patriots fans. You're lucky, man.
Yeah. No, definitely, man. And then I know, is there what advice would this Christian give that 17, 18-year-old senior Christian? What advice would you give?
Oh man, just calm down, dude. Don't work so hard. Don't keep looking at the next thing. Enjoy the moment you're in. Everything's going to work itself out. I mean, I've always been a hard worker, grind, work out every day, work, 60 hours a week. But I sometimes like that life that my 30s and my 20s went by so fast just because I was never enjoying the moment. I was always looking ahead, looking at the next thing. How could I succeed at this? What could I do to get better at this? And it was like, well, what's the point of doing all this if you're not going to enjoy, the benefits and enjoy your life a little bit and enjoy the ones around you love? So I'd be like, Christian, calm the heck down and enjoy your life, for God's sakes. That's what I'd say.
Two more. What's next for you? I know you kind of trying to even things out. Obviously, you spend time, the little one, the wife, and that. But what's next? I'm sure professionally, you got some goals here. Like, what's next for you?
Yeah, man, I've right now I'm operating on a pretty high level business wise, and I have two great assistants that I trust so much. I have my assistant Joe, who helps me on my pre-approvals on the front end. Then I have Erin, you probably know her. She helps. She's not here right now, but she's working from home. She probably wanted to not be here during this, but I could have, because she knew I was going to pull her in and introduce her. But she helps all the back end, helping things get to closing. So I just next I'm not going to say retirement because I probably will never be able to leave this game, but just have some more experiences, travel as things start to free up a little bit with my little one and my wife, and keep this thing rolling, keep the train going, keep everything increasing, keep working hard on my business, work hard, play hard, man. That's what Christian Harrison wants to do from now on. And then maybe some point I could take my cell phone and throw it in the ocean and retire, but I don't know if that day's ever coming.
We'll see. You never know. And my last one, obviously, we've talked about kids, and this one here, as far as can you hear me?
I think you just froze for a little while.
Oh no, can you hear me now?
I missed the last part.
No, I said I know we talked about our little ones here. My question actually is around that here. What would you want Olivia to say about you as she turns into adulthood? What would she want her to say about her dad?
The two things I'd like her to say about me, I'd like her to say that my daddy makes me smile. And I want to say my daddy's always been there for me, everything I've done. And I always know that there's no question that he loved me more than anything in the world, because that's what my dad passed away too young, probably like 2005. And, he was, I've learned a lot from him because he used to work in New York, man, lived in Durham. He was actually at the World Trade Center in 9/11. You got that. He get up at 4 a.m. I went to see him at 11 at night. So I didn't see my dad that much, but it's not something I ever complain about, because the one thing I always knew is whenever he was around me, that there's nothing more important than me and my brother, my sister, my mom, in the
Mhm.
whole wide world. So I don't have any issues. Core, I like to see my dad more. Yeah. So that's why I make it a point to make sure that I'm there for everything for Livy, because I don't want to ever, have to be the same situation that my dad was. But I don't have a negative experience because my dad always loved me. I always knew it for no
Mhm.
question in the world. That was the most important thing. So just that's what I'd want her to say about me.
And speaking of your parents, what would they say about you at this point in your life? What would they say?
Oh man. Well, I could get my mom on and she probably have a few words, but uh, it's nice. She always tells me how proud she is
Yeah.
of me. Uh, she loves Olivia to death, and she was really, really everything we went through. There's a special place in her heart for our experience with the adoption and all that.
Mhm.
So, my mom's a tough woman. My God, my dad wasn't scared of him at all. My mom, she beat me to a pulp. So I still have a innate fear of my mom. She's a
Mhm.
woman I look up to. She's a tough woman, but but luckily, it's just nice to have a tough woman like her that says that
Right.
she's proud. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think my dad would just love. Never get to meet Olivia, obviously, but I think that would be a relationship that would be unbelievable. Because he
Mhm.
was a fun-loving guy, and Livy's just a trip. So, I'd like to think he'd be proud of whatever I got going on here. So, he always told me to find something I love to do because I think he was just miserable in his job, and hopefully
Mhm.
he'd understand that I did that.
Yeah. And you mentioned a special place, man. With me, you got a special place for me. You've always had since we met, Christian, man. Just in regards to obviously whether it's the buying, getting the properties, working the deals, are you going up and beyond to see that some deals got through when they looked a little shaky initially or whatever the case is here, and you haven't stopped. I mean, just to see your growth and everything else here. Obviously, you had a second office now. That wasn't there before when I met you, you know.
Right.
But I just think
We go way back.
yeah,
Long time ago,
yeah,
man.
yeah. I appreciate everything, man. I appreciate everything that you've done for me. And when I was just thinking about it, because with my family here, people have since bought their own homes and lived in their own homes, but that was something unheard of, as far as just doing, as
Yeah.
far as my family, my background, or whatever the case may be here. So for me to get a chance to give it a shot, take a crack at it, and then for them to see that, one of the things, like one of my best things in my life here, in regards to just to have opportunity for them to be like, hey, we can do more than just be on our block and complain and about everything as far as life, and like let's jump in the pool, let's sink or swim, let's do let's take these chances here, and you allowed me to do that. Like I said, just being you and being creative here. And I can't thank you enough, and I probably will never be able to thank you enough. Just all the stuff that you've done for me, as far as in regards to all that stuff, and setting me up or whatever the case may be here. But even just conversating out here, you didn't have to do this. And I like I said, and I'm really appreciative, man. Like I said, I just want you to know that again. You probably never heard this soft part of Quran here, but I'm just sharing that with you, man. Like I said, I really appreciate all that you've done for me, and probably will continue to do. And again, obviously we got commonalities even more now with 6, 7 year olds. We can relate stories to where, or just scream at each other about them. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
appreciate everything. And I just want you to really know that. Thank you from the bottom of my
Uh,
heart. Thank you.
that's the stuff that makes my job awesome, man. So I really appreciate them. That makes me wake up and happy to come in and do my work. So, but yeah, this has been awesome. And listen, I can do mortgages in Simsbury too. So you got just hint, right?
I
Hang out more.
get, yeah, I know they all actually. It's interesting, My Nyla, she goes to school in West Hartford, so they've been liking West Hartford of late. You mentioned the
Yeah,
center of town. I think probably every week or every couple of weeks they'll just take a walk around the center of town and what have. I said, let's see how things play out here in regards to that, But they starting to really take a liking to
yeah.
West Hartford a little bit. So
West Hartford's great. Yeah, I love West
yeah,
Hartford.
you know, we get behind those taxes a little bit, but we'll be
Uh,
okay.
yeah, I know. It's not much better. I would like to tell you it was, but it's not.
Yeah. But you make it work. So, like I said, when that time comes and we're ready if we entertain something else, obviously, first and foremost where I'm going to, who I'm going to, and then I think. But like I said, even outside of the paperwork and deals, like I said, I just really truly say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
That means a lot, Karan. And thanks for having me on, man. It's great to hear that stuff, and it's great to connect with you again.
Yes, yes, definitely, man. So go have some fun, shut it down. I know you're around the corner from the house. I know you gotta probably pick the little one up not too long from now, but best to your wife, everybody else. I said hello, and like I said, we'll be in touch.
Same to you and Colleen and the little one. We'll talk
Okay,
soon.
absolutely. Be well, Christian.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you, man. Later.
All right. See ya.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Like I said, I owe him a lot in regards to just a lot of stuff that he was able to do for me and put me in different situations here. So goes without saying, but that's all fun and well. But just the great person he is, husband and father that he's become here. Like I said, just proud. I mean, just to kind of just see that from him and everybody else here. So with that being said, I'm going to step away on this one. I put my hand over my heart. That means I feel you. Yeah.